Hey, hey! I'm endorsing a new cola, kids. And this one isn't poisonous to anybody.
That we know of.
New and improved Buzz Cola is made from only the finest sugars and waters. Plus, it has a special ingredient, too hot for the FDA. It'll give you the get up and go you need to do all the pathetic stuff you have to do. Try new improved Buzz Cola.
Cola. Must get Buzz Cola.
All right, player one, Homer. Use the directional button or left analog stick to move around. This is called walking. Press the X button to jump and hold down the circle button to run. Anytime you're in the air, hit jump again to get a little extra push.
Thank you very much, Bart, and hello everyone. It is TIJ, that's weird saying. New name, and a new game, as you can see. It is the classic that I think everybody associates, and that's our first coin, bit of a milestone. The classic that I think every single person who had a PS2, original Xbox, I know this is probably associated with the PS2 more, but went in both the PS2 classics and the F1 and the Xbox classic section. It is the Simpsons Hit and Run. Now, Road Rage was decent. I think it came out just before Hit and Run. But Hit and Run was just that game that I think everybody played as a child. And I'm trying to get this card here, this collector's card. But if you're... Oh my god, I'm going to just go ignore that. But if you're new around here, my name is Toby, or TIJ as the channel suggests. And I've just finished my GCSEs. And if you're not in England, they're basically your secondary school compulsory exams. And after you've finished that, you can either stay on at your school and do 2 extra years, or go to college, or do an apprenticeship. And I'm sure you don't want to know about that. So I'll just cut off that subject now. But basically, really, I've got as much free time for the next 2.5 months, and I did a update video that, if you haven't seen it, make sure to go and see it. And I did a straw poll of which PS2 game to play. Now, this one, obviously, I think, before I even did the straw poll, I knew this one, or GTA San Andreas, was going to come out on top. And it was this one. I think this got 7 votes, and Andreas got 5 votes, so I promise you, I will play San Andreas at some point. But, I decided to play this first, and I've got a little bit of bad news to bring you folks. If you want to skip all this, I'm sure I'll leave something on the screen to where we actually start the game, but I just wanted to leave a little bit of an update before we get into the game to avoid any confusion. So I will be playing San Andreas at some point. However, I thought it would be not great to have 2 demanding games on the channel at one point. I mean that kind of... These 2 are very big story games, and I haven't played San Andreas in the story before. I have played this story before, haven't completed it, but I do have a current save game that's pretty much finished, that I was playing before I finished my exams. Obviously not when I should have been revising, you know, in my free time when, you know, I was revising, then I'd play this a little bit maybe, you know, play it all the time, but whatever. But I will be playing something else in kind of the duration of this as well, so it's not just the only series. But what I was going to say is that I did mention playing PC games, and unfortunately my PC doesn't seem to want to cooperate, so unless I can kind of get that issue resolved or rectified, I'm not going to be able to record PC games. But for you who've just clicked on the annotation and clicked to skip to this point, this is where we start the story in Hit and Run. So let's talk to our wife, Marge.
Homie, somebody ate every dessert in the house. I need you to run to the store and pick up some of that ice cream with the miniature pies in it.
Well, it must have been one of our kids. Probably Millhouse.
So then, guys, this is mission 1, the Cola Caper, and honestly, do not worry if you've never played this game before. This is not the hardest mission. If all the missions were like this, we'd have a bit of a bore. Right, I've just got to get used to the controls. So it's circle to brake and square to go. So we're going to... I know this map pretty well. And I'm sure for any of you that played this before and haven't played it for a while, the nostalgia is really coming back. If you want to play this again, I'd honestly recommend getting a PS2, not a Microsoft Xbox, because games generally are more expensive. I don't know why I'm going this way, the shop's only there. But games are just generally more expensive for the Xbox, and for PS2, basically, there were more accessible games, and for cheaper. I think I picked this up in CEX for £8, which in the grand scheme of things is quite expensive, but for a classic such as this, it's not really much at all. But what I was saying earlier about the missions being harder than this, yeah, they are. There's a lot of hard missions on this game, and this is just the easiest one. So let's go into a poo store, the Quickie Mart. So I presume that we've got to get some cola now. I'm just going to talk over this. I could do some subtitles on, actually. I don't know if there are subtitles in this game. I wonder if it's been that developed yet. But I think we've just got to get some cola from a poo. And, oh no, sorry, we've got to get ice cream and cola. And guess what? The mission is done. Well, that was fairly easy, wasn't it? But really, if you don't know the structure of this game, it starts basically, I think there's 6 or 7 levels where you play of each of the house characters, I think bar Maggie, and then Apu and somebody else, I believe. But basically this is level 1 with Homer, and this is the easiest by far of any of the levels. And I think there's 6 or 7 missions, and hopefully on this Saturday, beautiful Saturday morning that I should really be sitting outside, but instead I'm commentating on me playing a PS2 game. I'm hoping in this recording session to get the first level done, and that should hopefully take me about an hour, so that'll probably be hopefully split up into either 3 20-minute videos or 4 15-minute videos, and hopefully in the duration of the next 7 days I'll get that up for you guys, and then we will go on to level 2. But let's talk to Marge again. After we've just gone to the shop and done a really hard mission, I think I need a break.
Homie, Lisa left for school without her science project. Can you get it to her?
Oh, do I have to?
You can drop it off on the way to work.
And I have to go to work?
Oh, blimey, there's just a complete overload of missions. So we've collected Lisa's science project, and as Marge just said, we've got to race Skinner to the school. I don't quite know why this would be in the grand scheme of things, but to make the game more interesting, I suppose we've done this. So there's Principal Skinner's car, and as a former F1 former F1 YouTuber, this is going to go catastrophically wrong, because I can guarantee I'll be really cocky, think that I'm really good, and I know at some point in this game I'll crash my car into the wall because, well, that's inevitable, isn't it? It's called Hit and Run. We will do a bit of fun on this game. It's not all going to be story based. There will be sort of maybe parts of episodes where we'll do some of the add-ons to the game. There are a lot of add-ons to this game and just a lot more extra content. And there are a few, I'll say glitches, but different things. And we've won the race to the school, which was dead easy. And there are a few glitches and that sort of thing. So we'll explore the full game whilst we're playing it. We're not just going to do a walkthrough. That's not my kind of style. My style is to basically show you all in the game that you guys should see, and basically try and entice you to buy this thing, because this is the best thing that, well, I was going to say Sony, it's not. It's the best game out of a TV show, because really that's all The Simpsons is. It was just a simple TV show that made a massive franchise, and I bet whoever made it, I think it was Matt Groening, I don't know if he's just the writer or the creator. I'm not a Simpsons fanatic. I do like The Simpsons, but I'm not a fanatic. But I don't know if Matt Groening made it, but whoever created that must be quite a rich chap, or a chapess. You know, we can't single the women out of it, but I will research that at some point. But anyway, enough of my blabbing. Let's click triangle and go into the school.
Thanks for bringing me my model of the digestive system. Hey, where's the gallbladder?
I got hungry and it was a fig.
It was modeling clay.
Oh.
By the way, Dad, Mom called. She says she needs to talk to you at home before you go to work.
Oh!
So that's another mission complete, and as you can kind of guess on this level, it's very much a tutorial, really, because you get told by characters what to do, and in future levels you kind of have to, well, it's not so much guided, if that makes sense. You're a bit more free to do things. Obviously you're free to do things. It doesn't like fail you on a mission. If you just go and drive around and kill everyone. Not that I'm suggesting you do that for 1 second in real life, or maybe not on this. I don't want to suggest any violent content. It's not quite GTA, but it was in its day. I think for kids of my age of 16, kids of actually older than me really, because this came out in 2003. I was born in 01, so truthfully, really, as a kid, I played this game, but I don't remember too much of it. It's only really now that I get to appreciate how good it was, but, you know, people that are my age and above, I think, maybe a few years younger, perhaps, but not that much younger. We'll just remember this for being the kids' GTA, really, and one that probably parents were more comfortable with them playing, rather than one with F-words planted pretty much anywhere that you could see them, and then the child repeating those words to their parents. So, this is definitely a more, you know, kid-friendly game, just a generally more user-friendly game. Saying that, actually, it's a user-friendly game, but it's not one that puts adults off. I mean, I know a lot of adults that, I might not sound like a complete weirdo here, but I know a lot of adults that have played this game, and I've enjoyed them because, well, I suppose the adults of today, you know, you talk about 21 to 25-year-olds, and many of them will remember this classic, among many others from the PS2 console.
Homer, go talk to Ned Flanders. He seems miffed and PO'd.
Why me? I'm the world's greatest neighbor. I even have a mug to that effect.
See what I mean? It is very guided, and oh god, we've got to go and talk to Ned. Oh, Mr. Flanders. Everyone just loves Flanders, don't they? Oh dear. Come on, Flanders.
Oh, in a dither, Homer. So many of my possessions have disappeared. I called the police to find the culprit.
Culprit, eh?
My lawnmower, my cooler, my lawn chair, a family portrait, even Rod's inhaler. What kind of sick individual would take this stuff?
Oh no, I borrowed all of Flanders' stuff. Quick, think of an excuse to get out of here. Excuse me, I think I have to go shuck some corn.
Okay then, so, well, Ned lost a few items, i.e. Homer stole them. So, you know, a bit of a thief is Homer, but we all love Homer. We love all the Simpsons family, really. I don't know if I've got a favourite Simpson. I don't know, actually. I think one of my favourites is Grandpa Simpson, because he's just a bit of a... to talking... and I've just run her over, and again. But to talk a bit like a child of my day... a bit of a lad is Grandpa. I mean, he's in an old people's home. And see, I said I'd crash at some point, and that's already happened. But he's just a general, just a lad, really. And also, Barney's also a lad. There's just lots of lads and, you know, lasses, if you like, in this game. I'm just going to collect a few coins, because they come really in handy later into the game. And actually, later into the game, I will have to do a lot of stuff off camera to get the coins required, because you have to buy several things. It's actually quite ridiculous how much coins you need to buy things, and basically you can only really get coins from smashing things up, which is harder than it seems sometimes. But anyway, let's go and talk to Barney.
You remember that cooler I gave you for your birthday? Well, Flanders wants it back.
Now what will I use for a toilet?
So that was easier. That was easier than it could have been. I mean, Barney could have put up a fuss, but no, he didn't. And what I haven't mentioned yet is that obviously we're in the family sedan, which is a very nice car. We get to drive quite a few cars in this game that are very nice, including Bart's rocket ship. And that was one that when I was a kid, I remember, and I've spoke to people before about this, they used to play in it, and basically it was just one of those cars that you could get absolutely smashed up within about 2 hits. So it was always brilliant. But this game, honestly, I cannot applaud it enough. I don't know what the critics rated it as, but for it to be a PS2 classic, to be fair, there's a lot of PS2 classics that'll go, was that really a classic? But I suppose, you know, it doesn't represent just my taste. But, this is honestly just a PS2 classic, and I can't applaud this game enough. And I think after this complete nostalgia tour, in the first few episodes, I might actually start talking about what's going on in the background a bit more. But I'm, you know, I'm somebody, if you want to watch a walkthrough, there's honestly, for this game, there are plenty of walkthroughs on this game. You know, it's probably the most popular game from the PS2 history. I've said this before. Let's just get some of these coins, and we've got a collector card. And you know, it was just the game, wasn't it? The PS2 game that everybody played. I don't know if any of you had an original Xbox. If you did, let me know in the comments, because before I went and bought my PS2, I was considering buying an original Xbox. But as I said before and earlier, there's kind of that thing that the games are more expensive, there's less games, and you know, it kind of defeats the object, doesn't it? If you're paying more for something, you'd hope for a bit of, you know, a bit more quality and a bit more quantity in some ways. But for the PS2, there's a lot of games, and we're very lucky to live in an age where we have brilliant game captures such as the Elgato that, through some meddling with, you know, a few cables, you can get recorded and broadcast it to you lovely people on the internet.
Look, I found your missing stuff. Now, about the reward.
Thanks, neighbor Rooney. Here's your reward. A prayer from the Lord's #1 fan. Our Father in heaven, bless this noble oath.
Stupid Flanders getting happiness from religion.
And Homer seemed a bit angry there. I actually can't hear the cutscenes very well. So, is there subtitles? I'm sure there aren't. But if there are... sorry about this, folks. Yeah, surround sound, that's fine. Settings? No, there aren't. But what? There's two different... Oh, no, there's not. Don't worry. Okay. That's a shame. But, we'll just have to have the sound a little bit louder in the future. And, oh well, but I presume that cutscene was very funny, and something that Flanders said was probably something to do with the Lord's Prayer, something like that, but that's Flanders for you, isn't it? It's just, there's so many good characters in The Simpsons, and the developers of this are just so creative, much more creative than I am. Obviously, you know, I'm not very creative whatsoever, but, you know, the creators of The Simpsons have built a massive franchise. I said about this before, but, wow, just fantastic The Simpsons is. Can we talk to Marge now? Oh, charming. What? Hand gestures.
Homie, you're late for work. And today's your workplace evaluation with Mr. Smithers.
Ah! You'll find my scorpion farm! Then where will my scorpions live? Only one person can help me. Lenny.
Apparently Lenny can help. So, let's go to Lenny then in that case. So, we're going to drive to the Krusty Burger by the cemetery, which I don't really think there needs to put by the cemetery in there. But actually there might be multiple Krusty Burgers in the Simpsons land. So, I'm going to put a bit of a poll to you folks. Would you pick Hit and Run? Would you pick Road Rage? Or, a bit weird, but I know. If you could only have one, would you pick Hit and Run, Road Rage, or the Simpsons movie? Just think about that for a minute.
Hey, Homer, how about a breakfast churro?
No time! Tell me where to find Mr. Smithers!
Yeah, I think I saw him at the Quickie Mart. More breakfast churros for Lenny!
I'm gonna need a car with a little more junk in the trunk if I'm gonna take him out. I wonder if Barney still has the Plow King.
I'd personally pick the Simpsons movie, but there you go. Well, actually, no, incorrect. It's a tough one between this and the Simpsons movie. As I said, Road Rage was decent, but not brilliant. But back into the game. As this is the first example of having to have coins to buy things, and if you've spent all your coins at one point, it's a bit of a pain because obviously you have to build up those coins again. And let's talk to Barney. Let's just skip that. And I'm going to let you appreciate for about 10 seconds this music that's absolute classic for The Simpsons. Alright, if you don't remember that's basically the main point of the game. It's just the soundtrack to the game sometimes that is just amazing. And anyway, I know I do ramble on a bit, but let's destroy Smithers' car before he gets to the power plant. Let's do that. But we need to destroy Smithers' car, as I just said. And this is a bit of a different car. It hasn't got the speed of the sedan, but believe me, it has strength, and more strength, as I've just highlighted there and smashed him out the way. I'd honestly love a Hit and Run 2, but what I would also love is a Hit and Run remastered for the new consoles, and that would just be fantastic, wouldn't it? You know, remastered for the new Xbox One consoles, and where's Smithers? Smithers is there. Give him a good whack, that's decent, that's a decent start. And we haven't failed a mission yet, and really this is the first kind of failable mission, because there's a bit of a time limit on there, and we've just hit him again. There's a bit of a time limit on this mission, because obviously you've got to destroy him before he gets to the plant. But, oh, he's turned around. Oh, go on. I'm sorry whoever I've just ran over. And as you can see, the little yellow bar is the amount of wanted level you have, I kind of think. You only really get police chasing you as such if you get to the top and you get a little police sound and Hit and Run in the middle of your screen. Hence the game being called The Simpsons Hit and Run. And he's stuck in someone's car. No, he's not, actually. And I've just mugged myself off more than him. And this just highlights my driving skill. I will be driving in February, so, well, if you see me smashing up a road in my Plow King, I don't quite know how you get a real Plow King, but there you go. But if you see me doing that in my car, then, you might want to just turn off at the next junction, because I might not be doing great things. Oh my god, did anybody just see that? Smithers went into the air, ran someone over, and the school bus just ran them over. So this is really suggestive, this game is. You know, not great from the AI, but they are AI after all, so you know, it's not perfect. It's PS2 AI, isn't it, of course, but let's run her over. And basically Smithers is right on the end of his tether, or the car is. It's basically really the Top Gear remake, and with a little tap, we've done it, and we've done that. And the first little thing in this game that's different, and something that's in the game that isn't mission based, is the races. There's Millhouse. We're not gonna do a race today because I just want to get onto the missions today. But in the future, we will do some non-mission based stuff, because it's a good break from the missions, because you guys probably get bored of mission after mission after mission. Like I said before, it is not just a walkthrough. Oh, whoops. It's not just a walkthrough on Planet. It's a game to explore all of the features of the game. It's not just, it's not just a walkthrough. And in the end of the day, if you want to go and watch a walkthrough, as I've said before, there are plenty of them on the net. But let's go to Homer's workstation. In the power plant, we can just legally drive in the power plant, as you can see here, and we crash there. But oh god, this is the mission. I think it is, isn't it? It's the first actual one in level 1 that you can fail. I think that's correct. But there we go. Triangle.